Hello, everyone. So today I wanted to actually talk about the law of cause and effect. So, um, most of you probably know that particular law, if you will, as karma. Now, I think within the aspect of karma, there is an awful lot of programming and a lot of um, maybe misconceptions on what exactly karma is. You'll tend to hear a lot of people say, well, I've got this bad karma, or, I'm working out this karma, or whatever it is. But usually it tends to get labeled as something that's bad or something that's horrible, something that's difficult to work through. Um, so I just wanted to bring a little bit more clarity to that. And the way that I understand karma is actually through what I would know as the law of cause and effect. So essentially, it's kind of like that saying of, what you put out, you're going to get back. So if you are going about your day in a very loving way and you're operating through the heart, you're expressing love and compassion and forgiveness and all those beautiful energies from the heart, well, guess what? You're probably going to have some sort of an effect coming back to you in one way, shape, or form, whether that's from another person or even just, say, being out in nature and having that reflection reflected back to you so that you can connect deeper into nature in a way that maybe you never have before. I'm just using that as an example. So then if you go about your day and you have a certain belief system, and maybe you're more so operating through the energy of judgment and judging other people for what they're doing or what they're not doing, well, guess what? You might have quite a few people judging you as well. Um, the other aspect of this law of cause and effect is you really can't determine when that energy is going to come back to you. So this is another part of it too, is that some people feel like, well, I'm putting forth all this amazing energy into the world. I'm operating through my heart. I'm expressing love, and I'm doing all these things, but yet I don't feel like it's maybe coming back to me in the ways that I'm putting it out there, or as much as I'm putting it out there. Well, really, I would just say this is it's about just surrendering and understanding that what you are doing is perfect no matter what, and that what I've come to find is it's more so about timing, right? You might want to call it divine timing, if you will, whatever works for you. But just because you're putting that energy out doesn't mean that you need to have an expectation as to when that energy is going to come back to you or when it's going to be reflected to you. And I would just say that it's going to come back to you in perfect timing. And it's really for you to just get out of the way of that and just let it be what it is. And the only thing you really can do is you can control what's going on inside of you in terms of how you perceive everything that you're experiencing, and also tuning into your belief systems and making adjustments to your belief systems based on where you would like to be versus just focusing on where you are. It's another reason why I tell people just keep taking a step forward, keep taking a step forward, even if you get knocked on your butt, even if you take a couple steps back, no big deal. Just gather yourself and take another step forward, take another step forward. And it's really that determination and devotion to keep taking a step forward that can also really catapult you into an entirely new experience, even through that aspect of the law of cause and effect. So I would just say the more that you keep expressing and working on yourself and knowing thyself, the more and more you start to see that reflection back through the aspect of the law of cause and effect. And really, like I said, just get out of your own way and don't have any expectations of receiving that reflection sooner rather than later. Or, you did something wonderful for someone yesterday, and then you're expecting that maybe you're going to get that back within a week or a year or whatever it is. Just kind of let that go and just trust that if you keep putting that energy out, you're going to get it back. And it's a beautiful thing when you really start to see it rushing in a certain way, where all of a sudden it's like the dam breaks loose, and oh wow, here's an expression of love from this dear brother. Here's an expression of forgiveness from this dear brother over here. Whatever it might be that starts showing up in your reality, it starts to kind of expedite and sort of speed up in a way to where it just keeps presenting and presenting and presenting. So I also use this analogy as well. It's kind of like a seesaw in a sense, where maybe you start on one end where you're on the low end of the seesaw, and then as you keep going and you keep working on yourself and you keep looking at your shadow and you keep doing all this work, well, that seesaw starts to change and starts to shift, and you start leveling out, and then eventually you start getting beyond that balance point. And that's really where it's kind of like a snowball rolling downhill, if you will, gathering up all that snow and becoming larger and larger and larger. And it becomes a place where you have more grace and ease with where you're heading, because you have all that momentum behind you that you've built in a way. So really, I hope that makes sense, and that those analogies work for you all, and hopefully that actually helps in some sort of way with your life and where you're heading. But that's pretty much it for karma and the law of cause and effect, and what I wanted to say around that. And thank you all for your support again, and I will be back with more.